As of 11:45 p.m. Sunday, 9 people had been killed and another 53 wounded in gun violence over the holiday weekend, according to Chicago police. 2 more were shot dead by police. Early on the 4th of July, 2 men were killed in a shooting in the West Englewood neighborhood. The two, 34 and 35, were standing outside in the 2000 block of West 63rd Street about 2:37 a.m. when a black vehicle pulled up and someone inside opened fire, police said. The vehicle then drove off in an unknown direction. The 34-year-old, identified as Corey Hudson of the 6000 block of South Bell Avenue, was pronounced dead at the scene at 3:02 a.m. Friday, according to the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office. The other man, Robert Cotton of the 9600 block of South Mozart Street in Evergreen Park, was taken to Stroger, police said. He was pronounced dead at 4:47 a.m. Sunday, according to the Medical Examiner's Office. About 11:25 a.m., a 45-year-old man who told officers he had a gun was shot by the police in the 1500 block of West Birchwood Avenue in the Rogers Park neighborhood. He was taken in serious to critical condition to St. Francis Hospital in Evanston. That night, at about 7 p.m., officers shot 16-year-old Warren Robinson about 7 p.m. in the 8700 block of South Sangamon Street, authorities said. He was pronounced dead at the scene, said Pat Camden, spokesman for the Fraternal Order of Police. Officers initially responded to a call of shots fired in the 8500 block of South Morgan Street, Camden said. The suspect eluded police but was found about 20 minutes later under a junked car parked in the backyard of a home in the 8700 block of South Sangamon, Camden said.
Live, Chicago, Illinois,
but he raised a
4th of July,
387
2014.
semi-automatic pistol and was shot by police. Officers told him he had to lower his weapon. But Robinson raised his gun a second time, Camden said, and police opened fire. Robinson's grandmother insisted the boy didn't have a gun at all when police shot him. Quote, "They murdered my grandson, that's my theory," George Utendahl said. No officers were injured in the shooting, and a weapon was recovered at the scene, Camden said.
Terry Young Show.
A few hours later, 14-year-old Pedro Rios was shot to death by a Chicago police officer about 9:55 p.m. at Bernice and Cicero Avenues in the Portage Park neighborhood on the northwest side, police said. He was pronounced dead at the scene at 10:07 p.m. Officers on patrol in the area observed Rios walking.
He's got his arm closed real tight. He's walking across the street. He's not looking at the police.
When officers attempted to approach him, he ran away and an officer chased him, police said. Then the suspect turned and pointed a large revolver at the officer, who fired a shot, Camden said. No officers were injured, and a .44 Magnum with an 8-inch barrel was recovered at the scene, Camden said. A 17-year-old boy was shot on the afternoon of July 5th in the Chatham neighborhood on the south side. The shooting happened about 4:20 p.m. in the 7900 block of South Cottage Grove, police said. The teen suffered a gunshot wound to the buttocks and was taken to a hospital in stable condition. Later that night, 2 people were shot in West Englewood. The duo were standing near the corner in the 5900 block of South Honore Street about 11:20 p.m. when they heard shots and felt pain, Police News Affairs said. A 20-year-old man was shot in the leg, and a 16-year-old was shot in the leg and arm. Both were taken to Holy Cross Hospital in stable condition. 15 minutes later, a man was killed in a Roseland neighborhood drive-by shooting on the far south side. Anthony Hobson, 25, was riding a bike on the street about 11:35 p.m. in the 104th block of South Normal Avenue when a silver sedan drove by and someone inside fired shots, authorities said. He suffered gunshot wounds to the head and shoulder, police said. Hobson of the 105th block of South Normal Avenue was taken to Roseland Community Hospital, where he was pronounced dead at 12:07 a.m. Early in the morning of July 6th, a man was killed in a shooting in the Uptown neighborhood. Kazan Lamb, 19, was sitting in a vehicle with a female in the 4400 block of North Malden Street about 12:20 a.m. when a gunman walked up and fired shots, authorities said. Lamb of the 4100 block of West 127th Street in Alsip was shot in the back and taken to Advocate Illinois Masonic Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead at 1:05 a.m., authorities said. Police said the female, who was also sitting in the vehicle, was hit by glass but was not shot. Later that morning, 2 men were critically wounded in a shooting on the north side. The men were in the 3700 block of North Lakeshore Drive at 3:05 a.m. when a group of several males and females walked up and asked about their gang affiliations, police said. One of the males then pulled out a handgun and opened fire, police said. A 23-year-old man was shot in the left thigh, back, and shoulder, and a 28-year-old man was shot in the upper right arm and chest. Both were taken in critical condition to Advocate Illinois Masonic Medical Center. Later that night, 3 people were wounded in a shooting in the South Chicago neighborhood. About 11:20 p.m., a male and female were in the street near the intersection of East 80th Street and South Muskegon Avenue when they were shot, according to Police and Fire Media Affairs Director Larry Langford. The male was taken to Northwestern Memorial Hospital in critical condition, and the female was taken to Advocate Christ Medical Center in Oak Lawn in serious condition. A third person, whose gender was not immediately known, was taken from a house on Escanaba Avenue to Jackson Park Hospital and Medical Center in good condition.
Terry Young Show, live, Chicago, Illinois, July 14, 2014.